Hey everyone, welcome to live session 4. This is amazing. You've made it to day 4, whether you're watching live or you're watching on the replay. This is a huge accomplishment. A huge congratulations to each and every single one of you. Can you imagine? We've been together every day for 4 days in a row now. And doesn't it feel amazing? How many of you have noticed the difference throughout the day? How many of you have noticed the difference when you're going to sleep? How many of you have noticed the difference when you're going about your workday, doing all the things you've always done, but you feel different because you've planted these new habits? Let me know in the comments how these past 4 days have been. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I want to hear how this experience has been going for you. And just as you're showing up every day, remember not to miss tomorrow, because tomorrow we will be selecting one person that I get to have a one-to-one phone call with. So please do not miss tomorrow's live. It's so important. I can't wait for you to all join me there. Looking at some of your comments now. Mohammed says, it's my 4th day with you, Jay. I'm grateful. That's amazing. Congratulations. Natalie, good morning. Day 4. That's fantastic. Jenna says, hey Jay, just wanted to thank you so far. I know we still have another day to go, but things are going so well. I've been taking notes and reflecting well after the videos are done. I have a bunch of new habits and practices I love. So thank you. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that, Jenna. That's awesome. Seamus is so awesome. It's definitely made my week so much better. This is great. It's been amazing, says Yezi. Genius in the house. Awesome. Oh, yes. And I know a lot of you have been asking me, Jay, what's this private coaching community? What's Genius? What's it all about? Well, I'll be telling you tomorrow. So don't worry about that at all right now. But definitely keep a lookout for it, because I know we've had lots of questions. A lot of people saying, Jay, how do we keep this energy going? How do we keep this momentum moving? How do we make sure that we keep this going throughout the year in our lives? Because I know so many of you have realized the power of what's happened in 4 days. You're thinking, what could happen in 4 weeks? What could happen in 4 months? What could happen in 1 year? Like, imagine the change that you would feel. And this is sometimes where the mind always tries to confuse us, because we always think, oh yeah, I'm just going to keep this. But energy is something that needs momentum. Renee says, day 4 for me live. Wow, it's been so amazing, and sharing with others and doing acts of kindness and spreading the love. That's brilliant. Adrian says, I'm absolutely have, Jay. Yesterday I went to see a parent and usually causes me anxiety. I was confident enough to not let him get the best of me and enjoyed my visit. That's awesome. Penn says, Jay, I'm starting to notice the impact in my life. Looking through the lens of gratitude changes things. And I'm getting together with a friend I have not seen in years. I love that. Shireen says, no better way to start the morning. Seeing so many people striving for happiness and growth is amazing. Isn't it? Isn't it so wonderful to come together? And I know this in the Genius community, when we're coming together every single week, right? Every Sunday we're getting together, thousands of people live all across the world. The energy is just amazing. I love it. I love that we get to do it every single week. Charmaine, I'm so happy to join here. 2 a.m. This is awesome. Thank you. Thanks for staying up. That's incredible. So today, I want to introduce you to habit number 4. And habit number 4, right? The habit today is actually implementation. I want to share with you today the deep insights into how to actually practically apply all of these things to make them last. Now, isn't that an important habit? We've talked about gratitude. We've talked about social connection. We've talked about confidence. But it's so important that we talk about how to actually practically apply these habits. Because the incredible thing is that really, habits have to be done even when we don't feel like them, right? That's what forms a habit. When you're able to keep doing it, even when you don't feel like it, because you know it makes a difference, right? Like, you may not feel like going to the gym every day, but you do it because it's good for you. You may not feel like eating something properly, but you feel you have to do it, right? Like, you may not feel like eating healthy food, but you do it because it's good for you. And that's really the test of a habit, when it's been implemented well. So today I want to focus on implementation of new habits. How do we actually make new habits happen, right? That's what I want to focus on today. And I want to share with you a bit of, if you've missed the last few days, don't worry, I want to share with you a bit about today. So you look back and you think about the last 3 days. We talked about gratitude, right? We went really deep into gratitude. We went really deep into social connection. We went really deep into looking at how you could find confidence. And what I want to make sure is that you're able to continue doing this time and time again. I want to help you make sure that you can do this week in, week out. Now, to cement a habit into your life, right? To cement a habit into your life, you need the 3 C's, right? These are the 3 C's of habit formation. You want to have any transformation in your life. You want to have any breakthrough in your life. You want to make any change in your life. You need these 3 C's. Without these 3 C's, it is likely, this is what will happen. You'll feel some momentum, you'll see things happening, but then things will fall apart. You may make it last for a week or a month, but then it will slowly dip away. You may have one big moment of surge, but then it goes away. And you will find this, whether you're trying to make a mental change, whether you're trying to make a physical change, whether you're trying to make a relationship change, whatever type of change you're trying to make in your life, it requires these 3 C's. And this is what they are. The first C, right? If you're ready, let me have a look. Absolutely. So today I want to show you, how do you keep these going? We've talked about these incredible habits. I'm sure you've learned a lot more. How do we keep those moving? So the first habit we talked about was gratitude. And we were talking about gratitude to yourself and gratitude to others, and talking about how gratitude makes such a difference. How do you embed gratitude as a daily habit where you're thanking others, you're thanking yourself, right? You're appreciating others, you're noticing the value, you're able to see things with perspective. See, the best way I like to describe gratitude is, imagine you're in a busy city center, right? Imagine you're in a busy city center, and you're in that city center and you're like, oh, it's so noisy. It's so crowded, right? It's so intense. Like, oh my God, I hate this. This is so, annoying. And then you walk up a tower, right? You walk up a tower in the city and you look at the sunset and you go, wow, that's so beautiful. You look down and you see all these people of different backgrounds and cultures and traditions, and you think, wow, this is so beautiful. You look around and you can see everything in its perspective, and you can see that there are parts that are completely silent and calm, and you think, wow, that's so beautiful. That's what gratitude is like. Gratitude brings you higher, right? Gratitude brings you higher and gives you a higher perspective on life. That's what gratitude's doing. It's actually raising your energy, raising your vibration, raising your consciousness so that you can see things in perspective. That's what gratitude's doing. When you're in the thick of everything, it doesn't feel that way. When you get perspective on everything, it changes, right? That's really what gratitude, the glasses of gratitude that we talked about, are doing. Now, when we talk about social connection, we talked about forming deep, meaningful bonds. Right? What that's doing is moving away from all these shallow relationships and forming deep relationships. If our relationships are shallow, right? If a fish swims shallow, it's easier to catch by a bird. If a swim is swimming in the shallow end of the water, a crane is likely to come in and swoop that fish up. But if a fish is swimming deep, of course there's sharks and whales and stuff, but if the fish is swimming deep with a school of fish, with a group of fish, it's more likely to be protected, right? That's what social connection does to us. It protects us. It protects us. It gives us community, right? And then the third thing, the habit that we talked about yesterday, confidence. This is how we feel about ourselves, our appreciation of ourselves, right? Our appreciation of ourselves makes all the difference. Are we able to appreciate ourselves? Let alone trying to find appreciation from others. When we're able to appreciate ourselves, we form the most deep bond with ourselves that is unbreakable, right? And today, I want to teach you about how to make these habits daily and last. And these are the 3 C's of habit formation that I've seen in my life over and over again, that I've observed, that I want to share with you. The first thing to make any habit last is you need regular coaching. Now think about this in your life. Where in your life have you had regular coaching? And if you say, I haven't had it at all, then ask yourself, where have you really grown? I guarantee you And this applies to everything, whether it's public speaking, whether it's confidence, whether it's personal training, whether it's mental health. When you have a coach, when you're being coached by someone who, it doesn't mean that they're the expert there, but they're diving deep, they're learning, they're doing all the research and the analysis to share it with you. They're doing all the understanding, the assimilating, the correlating to make a difference in your life, right? When you're doing all of that, when you're having the coaching in your life, it makes a huge, huge difference. Without coaching, you can't keep learning. You can't keep growing. And whenever you feel like you've got to a place where you're like, oh, I don't need a coach now, trust me, a month later, you realize how much you need it in any field of life. Some people say, oh, I don't need a coach. I'm fine. I'll figure it out myself. I like learning on my own, right? But the thing is that when you have a coach, you're learning from someone who's been through the pain. They're a few steps ahead of you, so they've made the mistakes, and they save you money, time, and energy. Now, how many of you would rather save money, time, and energy because someone else has had an experience where they can share with you how it may be, as opposed to putting yourself in that awkward position and losing money, time, and energy? No one wants to lose money, time, and energy. Coaches have saved me thousands of dollars in my life because they've been able to foresee what I'm coming up to because they've been there before. So even in all areas of my life, spiritually, I've had coaches, social media, I've had coaches, business, I've had coaches, life, I've had coaches. I have coaches all the time and mentors in different areas of my life, right? Whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual. It's so important that we have coaching. Without coaching, you can't make a habit last. Because you need regular reminders. You need regular accountability. You need regular training. The second thing you need is you need consistency. It's all good and well to do the 5 days. It's all good and well to have a couple of days here and there. It's all good and well to have a personal trainer for a couple of sessions, but it's the consistency that counts. When you're showing up week in, week out, every day, like you've done for 4 days, you've shown up every single day. That is what builds true habit change. And when we do that, we realize it that you only notice when you don't eat. Like, for example, you eat every day. You've made a habit to eat every day because you know your body needs it. And you've probably forgotten that. But if you miss a couple of meals, you now be like, oh, wow, I haven't eaten. I feel it, right? I feel different. And the third things, right? So the third thing is making sure that the third thing to make sure is community. It is so difficult to make a habit change without community. And this is why we've created this community here for us to change together. Why we had 150,000 people register, why we have tens of thousands of people in this Facebook group, because you change better with community when you're growing together, right? So these are the 3 C's of habit change: coaching, consistency, community. And I think it's really, really important to know those and understand those. And now talking about implementing habits. Now, right, how does the coach and the consistent and the community come together? The first thing, and my geniuses will know this because I've said it to them before. The first thing, small steps, big priorities. Let me explain. The mistake we make is we try and make a big step, but it's a small priority. So we try and say, I'm going to change gratitude. I'm going to change the way I talk to myself. I'm going to learn something every day. I'm going to sleep on time. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work out every day. And you say you're going to do all these things, which is like a big step, but they're all small priorities because you've got to do all of them so that you can't give them all enough energy, which means you end up doing none of them well. Whereas real habit change happens when you say small steps, big priority. So you say, I'm just going to start doing this one thing every day. I love the gratitude journal that Jay talked about. I'm going to do that. I love the once a week experience that Jay talked about. I'm going to do that. I loved what Jay said about emotional vocabulary. I'm going to change that, right? It's when you just say to yourself, I'm going to do one thing, one small step, but it's going to be my biggest priority. For example, my one step is going to be, I'm going to sleep on time and I'm going to wake up early, right? Now, if that's what you're going to say to yourself, now that's going to be your biggest priority. So no matter whether you're out with friends, no matter whether you're at a dinner or an event, you're going to prioritize that. If you want to make and implement any change in your life, it's all about small steps and big priority. Right? Small steps, big priority. It's one of the biggest mistakes that so many people make is that they try and take big steps and they're all small priorities. So small steps and big priorities. So I want you to select from this week, I want you to select one habit and I want you to make it your biggest priority for 1 week. One habit, 1 week. So next week, you'll have this one habit that becomes your focus for the week. And then the second week, you add a second habit. It becomes a small step and a big priority. If you look at how you started walking as a child, when you were walking as a child, all you were trying to do was walk. And it was a small step at a time, but it was a big priority, right? That's where the energy goes. It's not like you're trying to learn how to walk and run at the same time. You're not trying to learn how to walk and talk at the same time as a kid, right? You don't do both the types of growing at the same time. You do one at a time. Small step, big priority, right? So choose one habit that we've been through in the last 3 days, and I want you to make that your priority, right? The thing that's going to be the focus, that the energy that you're going to give, right? I really, really want you to get clear on that. Now, you may say, Jay, how do I know which one to pick? Maybe I'm attracted to one, but I want you to ask yourself a second question. What is my intention for this? Why is this habit so important to me? Am I really convinced why this habit is so important to me, right? Do I really know why I've chosen this habit? Or am I just choosing it because it sounds good, it feels right? Do I really know why? And if I said to you, why are you choosing gratitude, Emma, for example? And Emma's actually written here, I want to become a better person for myself, family, and friends. That's a really powerful intention. But if I ask you, why have you chosen confidence? And you say, I don't know, it made sense. I don't know, it kind of feels right. I've always needed confidence. If you give me an answer like that, it means you haven't really thought it through. It means it doesn't mean something. When you can explain to me why you've chosen gratitude, friendship, or you've chosen confidence, when you can tell me why you've made that choice, when you explain it, it's really deep. When you explain it, it's really meaningful. When you explain it, it's really purposeful. When you can do that, that's when it's going to stick. What I mean by this is, I was always negligent of my physical health because I thought, who cares? I'm good, like I'm healthy. And then I started to see, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to give, I want to travel, I want to serve. I want to be able to share messages with everyone in the world. And if I need to do that, I need to be healthy. So when I know that that's my goal, that intention is so much stronger. Whereas when my intention is just, I want to look good, I want to feel good, it's not strong enough. So I want you to write down your intention right now. Why is it so important for you to have a gratitude practice? Why is it so important for you to feel social connection? Why is it so important for you to feel confidence? What change is it going to make in your life? Why is it that is your priority? And I want you to be really clear about this. I want you to write down 3 sentences with meaning, with purpose, with passion, with depth, as to why that would be such a difference maker in your life. Why that would be such a change maker in your life, right? How is it going to transform your life? Carol says, I need a bigger community in my life, but I now know I need to push through my fear to find it. I miss having friends, absolutely. And that's why with the Genius community, people have made so many natural friendships inside of that, because you're naturally surrounded by people that want the same thing as you. Because you have to, this is what I was saying the other day, you have to be in the place where the people you want to be are. You don't just come across them, right? It doesn't just work like that. Okay. Divya says, less phone screen time. That's my small step and big priority so that I can be more present in the moment, as I often miss the full experience. Don't forget our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for presence. Don't forget that activity. I agree, Jay. I started with walking 20 minutes a day, then added meditation. The following weeks, I've added journaling and yoga. It's been helpful to make small changes, and now my days are packed full of successful tasks, and I feel so amazing on a daily basis. I love hearing that. I choose confidence because I always get shaky before I take a step, easily break confidence by smiling. See, that's not a reason. That's a negative thing. I need confidence because I always make mistakes. That's not a strong enough reason. Think about what confidence is going to give you. Think about what impact confidence is going to help you have in your life. Think about what confidence is going to be able to help you serve people in the way it's going to make a difference. And service is the most beautiful intention. We work harder when we try to serve others. A mother does more for their children. A mother and father will do more for their children than they would for themselves, right? an activist does more for their community than they would do for their family, right? It's like service is such a beautiful intention. When you're staying healthy because you want to serve more, when you're taking care of your mental health because you want to serve more, when you're working harder because you want to serve more, when you're making more money because you want to serve more, that is such a powerful, powerful, powerful intention, right? Such a powerful intention. So small steps, big priorities, setting your intention, right? Really deeply setting your intention to really understand what it means, right? To really understand what it means to set your intention. And I really, really wanted to be clear about that. Why is it so important to you? You know, why is it going to make a difference in your life? These are the questions with intention you should be asking. Why is it so important to me? Why is it going to make a difference in my life? How meaningful is that difference? You've got to feel that that difference is meaningful to you. You're only going to make it a daily habit if you genuinely believe that what you're going to do is going to be life-changing. If you don't believe it's going to be life-changing, then why would you do it every day? But I promise you, you've already seen that these three things are life-changing, so you have to be convinced, but you have to convince yourself. You have to convince yourself. And the third thing I want you to do, right, the third step for the habit change is I want you, wait a minute, I'm just reading some of your comments. Thank you, Vina, that's great. Ellen, that's awesome. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to give yourself currently a rating out of 1 to 10 as to where you are in that habit and where you want to be in the next month. So you may say, right now, Jay, my confidence is at a 4 and I want to be at a 6. Right? My confidence is at a 3 and I want to be at a 5. My confidence is at a 5 and I want to be in the next 30 days. That's it, right? What am I going to be in the next 30 days? And you can choose how much you want to do it. And that's how important it is to you. If you say I'm at a 5 and I want to be at an 8, you're saying it's really important, right? If you're saying I'm at a 3 and I want to be at an 8, now it's really important. It's really going to be a top priority. So set a realistic goal. And remember, just moving up by 1 in 30 days is huge. It's huge because you've been stuck at 3. You've been stuck at 4 for so long. Just going up 1 is huge. Right? Going up 1 is huge. It will make such a big difference. Lexi says 6. I want to be at an 8. Great. That's awesome. Malgore says, I need to focus on gratitude as I want to become a more positive person so I can contribute and bring more energy and be inspiration to people around me, especially my son. Beautiful. Narisha says, I use confidence because I don't need a satisfaction of others because I am investing now in myself to spread my wings. Okay. Jacqueline, that's beautiful. Hania says, I'm learning so much more, so appreciative of these reminders. Alipa says, I choose gratitude because when you're a grateful person, you do not get... Wait a minute, it's gone. You do not get disturbed by every bad thing happening to us. You do not become a complaint. It's just healthy. It's got to go deep, that intention, really heartfelt. Ellen says, I'm at a confidence level of a 3 and I want to be at an 8. Okay, Ellen, is that possible in 30 days? Or are you going to get to a 7 and feel down about it? Let's make it realistic. Christy says, my confidence is at a 5 and I want to be at an 8 in the next month. Okay, that means it's going to be top priority. It means it's going to take priority over Netflix. It means learning a new word every day or learning something new every day is going to take priority, right? It has to take priority. Confidence is a 5, love to get to an 8. Okay, I want to help you get there, everyone. If you mean these, I want to help you get there. Mary says, I'm at a 3, I want to be at an 8. Okay, well, that's going to be a big priority. I'm going to help you get there. I want to help you get there. I love the insight you brought to my life, says Sherry. Thank you. And this is what I want you to realize, that everything has to happen daily, right? You take a shower every day. You don't just have a shower once a week and you think, oh, I'm clean for the week. You take a shower every day. You eat every day. You don't just eat one meal and you think, oh yeah, I'm fed for the week. You eat every day. So why are we not doing these habits for happiness every day? Why does happiness then become something we have to reach? Why does happiness then become something that we have to find? Why does happiness then have to be something that we are trying to discover? Why is it something we're not doing every day? Why is happiness something we're not being every day? We have to train our minds daily, just as we have to eat every day, just as we have to sleep every day, just as we have to drink every day, just as we have to exercise every day, just as we have to shower every day. We have to think every day. We have to train every day. It's a daily habit. It's a daily investment. It's not something you do once that lasts, right? It's not just something you do once. It's not just something you do for one weekend. It's not just something you do for 4 days. It's not just something you do. It's every day. We have to make these habits every day and then we'll feel it, right? You don't feel hungry if you eat on time every day. Well, you won't feel unhappy if you take your dose of habits every day. That's exactly the same as it is. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. You don't feel hungry because you eat on time. You won't feel unhappy, right, if you eat on time, right? This mental diet. What are you feeding your mind? What habits are you feeding your mind? If you're feeding your mind negativity, of course you're going to feel unhappy. If you're feeding your mind jealousy and envy and comparison and complaint, of course you're going to feel unhappy. If you're not eating, of course you're going to be hungry. If you're not eating enough, of course you're going to feel hungry. It's exactly the same thing, right? It's exactly the same thing. I want you to recognize that. That is day 4, everyone. And I want you to show up tomorrow for the 5th and final day. Now, even if you've missed all of these sessions and you just tuned in right now, I want you to show up tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be incredible, right? It's going to be absolutely insane. It's our 5th and final day. We're going to be selecting one person to have a one-to-one phone call with me as well. So I'm going to get to talk to one of you on the phone. I'm really, really excited about that. Really, really looking forward to that. But I want you to show up tomorrow. We're going to go over, summarize, really talk about how we can keep this momentum, how we can build this momentum and make it last, how we can get you from that 3 to that 8. If you want to get from that 3 to that 8, that 5 to that 8, that 4 to that 8, tomorrow is the day to show up, right? If you really want to commit. If you've now listened to these 4 days and you're just like, Jay, this is it. I want this now. I'm not going to put myself second. I'm going to start prioritizing myself. I'm going to make sure that I invest and focus in myself. If you're feeling that way, tomorrow's the day to show up, right? You have to show up. It's going to make all the difference because I want to make this last. I want to make this happen. I want to introduce you to the coaching, the consistency, the community, right? I'm really, really, really excited for you to show up tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here for day 4. Share your insights on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I am looking out for them. As you can see, I'm sharing lots of them as well. So excited to see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. See you tomorrow for day 5.